As we prepare for the enactment of the Corporate Transparency Act, also known as CTA, there are many questions about the process and whether your company is required to report beneficial ownership information to Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, also referred to as FinCEN. In our last episode, we shared details from FinCEN on the characteristics of a reporting company. In this episode of our 6-part series, we answer the question, who is a beneficial owner of my company? Please note that the information provided by United Corporate Services and Class Information Services has been taken directly from FinCEN. All information provided by FinCEN is subject to change. United Corporate Services and Class Information Services will continue to provide you with updates through our hub page found on our website. Click the subscribe button or visit our hub page for updates and more information. If your company is a reporting company, your next step is to identify its beneficial owners. A beneficial owner is any individual who, directly or indirectly, exercises substantial control over the reporting company, or owns or controls at least 25% of the ownership interests of the reporting company. Reporting companies are required to identify all individuals who exercise substantial control over the company. There is no limit to the number of individuals who can be reported for exercising substantial control. An individual exercises substantial control over a reporting company if the individual meets any of 4 general criteria. The individual is a senior officer, or the individual has authority to appoint or remove certain officers or a majority of directors of the reporting company, or the individual is an important decision maker, or the individual has any other form of substantial control over the reporting company. Reporting companies are required to identify all individuals who own or control at least 25% of the ownership interests of the company. Any of the following may be an ownership interest: equity, stock, or voting rights, capital or profit interest, convertible instruments, and options or other non-binding privileges to buy or sell any of the foregoing, and any other instrument, contract, or other mechanism used to establish ownership. A reporting company may have multiple types of ownership interests. What steps can I take to identify my company's beneficial owners? Step 1. Identify individuals who exercise substantial control over the company. Step 2. Identify the types of ownership interests in your company and the individuals that hold those ownership interests. Step 3. Calculate the percentage of ownership interests held directly or indirectly by individuals to identify individuals who own or control, directly or indirectly, at least 25% of the ownership interests of the company. Who qualifies for exception from the beneficial owner definition? When an individual who would otherwise be a beneficial owner of a reporting company qualifies for one of 5 exceptions, the reporting company does not have to report that individual as a beneficial owner in its beneficial ownership information report to FinCEN. Those exceptions are as follows: minor child, nominee, intermediary, custodian or agent, employee, inheritor, and creditor. Details on the criteria for substantial control, ownership interests, and exceptions can be found in the FinCEN Small Entity Business Compliance Guide or in the downloadable guide section of our website. As we continue to provide updates on the CTA, please keep in mind that United Corporate Services and Class Information Services do not provide tax, legal, or accounting advice. This material has been prepared for informational purposes only and is not intended to provide and should not be relied upon for tax, legal, or accounting advice. We recommend that you consult the appropriate advisor before engaging in any future transactions. Be on the lookout for our next CTA video that addresses the question, does my company have to report its company applicants? United Corporate Services and Class Information Services. Excellent service in extraordinary times.